Rage Whale. Three friends, too many opinions, one podcast. This is the movie news.
Hi everyone. This is a slightly different episode. This is a little bonus. This is a separate to the main episodes. It's just me today, and I'm going to be doing a few of these in the future, maybe every couple of weeks or so. Hopefully we'll get the boys involved as well. But for today, it's just a little bit of update on movie news and what's been going on recently. And I thought it'd be quite good to show. So recently, in the last couple of weeks, the last films I've seen, because obviously we've had a big summer blockbuster season very recently with your Supermans and Fantastic Four, but I think the horror genre is doing really well at the moment. The last week, I've seen the film Weapons and Together, both vastly different, but I would encourage people to go and watch both of them. They're both very, very good. And Weapons apparently is at number one in the UK and Ireland box office at the moment, doing very well in America as well. Because it's not a full-on horror, it's a bit of a thriller. It's done in a very charismatic way. So even if you're not a massive fan of horrors, Weapons is still one to watch. Together, on the other hand, tries to go a bit more disgusting in places, and it does play on the body horror element at all a little bit, but it's not too graphic or anything like that. But it's good fun. There's bits I didn't like, but overall, I'd definitely recommend Together as well. Alison Brie and Dave Franco have a really good relationship, obviously, as they've been married since 2017. So the dynamic between them works really, really well. So I think it's a really engaging film to watch that's out at the moment. Other things that I want to do in these little short videos, these episodes, we'll try and keep them to like 15 minutes at max. Just a little update on what's been in the cinema, what's good on TV at the moment, and a bit of news as well. The last couple of things I watched recently, which I think is really good, some more recommendations, is the TV series The Better Sisters. That is on Prime, and it's a really high quality murder mystery sort of program, but it's not done like that. It's done definitely more like a thriller and a kind of whodunit in that side of things. And it's really good. It's with Jessica Biel and Elizabeth Banks, who play sisters. And you think one of them's a great sister and the other one's a down and out, and your opinions change over the course of the program and who did the murder. You don't know who to suspect, but it's done very, very well. I think that is probably one of the better series I've watched in this year. There's been a few great ones, and this is definitely a standout one. It's about 8 episodes, and it keeps you on your toes all the way through. Another one for non-streaming. I'm not always a big fan of this program, but Celebrity SAS on Channel 4, I would give that a go. There's I don't even know half of the celebrities in there, and I think that's why it's quite good, because I don't know who they are. It just feels like normal people, but there are some great characters, and the SAS put them through their paces, doing some mad stuff. The last episode I watched, they were making them jump from a speedboat onto a hovering helicopter to catch the helicopter and climb up into it. That was one of the tasks. So yeah, very entertaining seeing people fall and not make it, but extra cool when they do make it, feeling like Tom Cruise. Another program I'd say is worth watching at the moment is on Netflix, and it's a program called Fisk, Fisk. If you're into comedy, this is a great sort of 20-minute episodes. It's Australian. If I tell you what it's about, it sounds boring, but so does The Office. It's about probate law, and it's a comedian who plays the main part, and her name is Helen Tudor Fisk, and she's part of a renowned family who is a judge, that she's a bit not useless. She's good, but she goes into work in an office of misfits, shall we say. Series 3, when this goes out, which is only in a couple of days' time, will have been released on Netflix. There's 3 series. There are 6 episodes each, 20 minutes each. Brilliant, really easy watching, really funny. It's Australian as well, if that helps. It is very, very funny. Obviously, in the last week, we've had Alien Earth being released on Disney Plus. So, Drew, our podcast host, has watched the first couple of episodes that have been released. I've decided not to watch any until it's fully done and binge the lot over a weekend. I prefer to do that. But there's a couple of episodes out now. So if you're into it, I recommend. I've heard pretty much nothing but positive views on that one. Also on Prime, I just noticed as well that Baby Girl has been released and Barbie. 2 completely different movies, but they're available on Prime, which I think a lot of people have been waiting for a while. And we have as well Thunderbolts released next week on Disney Plus. That's exciting because that is a great film. That's one of the best films this year. Definitely one of the best superhero films and Marvel films in a long, long time. So if you've got Disney Plus, if you don't, register for it. Get your free 3 months and then cancel it because there's loads of great stuff on there like Alien Earth. But Thunderbolts with Florence Pugh is definitely one to watch. In the news at the moment, and new films coming out at the moment. In the next week or so, you'll have Eddington, which is, if you've listened to this week's episode with our special guest Peter, he has watched it, I think, 3 times in the cinema now, by Ari Aster, with Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, loads of great actors in there, and apparently it is very, very good. It's a comment on over the pandemic and some extreme views, so it's not for the average person, but it's definitely one I would recommend watching. I've not seen it yet, but I'm going to see it in the next week. And over the next week as well, you have other films like Honey Don't, which looks brilliant with Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley. And you've also got Caught Stealing coming out with Austin Butler. That is one I'm excited for. It looks pretty fast-paced action film. And also a comedy film, The Roses, with Benedict Cumberbatch. That, and Olivia Colman, sorry. That looks, well, it's meant to be a take on a film from the 80s, but it doesn't, it's too modernized that it doesn't have much of that DNA from what I've seen in the trailers. So I'm just counting it as a separate, on its own film. I think it looks amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. And F1 with Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem is back in the cinema. It's ended its run only recently, but it's back in, but not just back in, but back in an IMAX. And that, again, is one of the top films of the year. So we've got things like Thunderbolts, like I mentioned, but F1 is definitely up there in my top 5 for the year, maybe top 2, because it really is... Like, if the average person might look at that if they've not seen it and just say it's quite a basic film, quite a predictable film, and just a load of race cars. No. The storyline's great. The actual soundtrack to it, the score from Hans Zimmer throughout on an electronic level is incredible and keeps you really engaged. The set pieces, the scenery, the visuals, and it's not just very basic. The plot and the actors, the storyline, and the way it unfolds is brilliant. It's not as simple as you expect. It really is worth listening to, worth watching. One small point on the news is that Terence Stamp, unfortunately, has passed away at the age of 87, famous for Wall Street, Superman 2, one of the top actors in the Hollywood world. So might be looking at going to watch some of his old films just as a little commemoration. I do, I wish we all watched them as much as we do when they're alive. But, when someone passes, it sometimes reminds you that there's some great stuff and great work out there you might not revisit it for a while. So it might be worth taking a little look at that. And a few other things as well is that Timothée Chalamet, the trailer for his new film, Marty Supreme, has just come out with, this is the one we saw the photos in the past of him with Gwyneth Paltrow kissing in a tunnel. This is it. He plays a table tennis player. So I'm interested to see what this is like. And it's one of the Safdie brothers. So that's going to be interesting that is directing this one. Also, Deadpool. This is another bit of news from this week, is that Ryan Reynolds has posted a photo of the Avengers sign and put the anarchy symbol over the top, like a punk sign, which is from Deadpool. So he's basically getting ahead of the curve and saying, I'm part Doomsday. Don't forget about Deadpool. And there's a new Rambo film that's been announced. And also, I've just seen as well today even more things, like obviously in the trailers at the moment you've got things like The Keeper, Osgood Perkins' new film. He did Long Legs and The Monkey. Long Legs I thought was great. The Monkey I thought was terrible, but had some good scenes in it. So the new film The Keeper, I'm open-minded, but I do want to see what that's like. And as well, literally only a couple of hours ago there was news of Nick Frost wandering around London dressed as Hagrid with a little boy following around because they've just started filming the Harry Potter. If anyone cares, I don't think we need it, but hey, there we go. Maybe it will be good and I'll probably watch it, but I'm not that bothered about it. Also, Colin Farrell has just been in a new trailer for Ballad of a Small Player. So there's lots and lots going on. Today's Friday, the day it's been released, and I'm currently in the real world. This was recorded a couple of days ago. Currently in the real world in Glasgow right now, seeing my cousin, who was a guest a couple of episodes ago, Jude, play his gig in Glasgow in King Tut's. And today, with any luck, I'm going wandering around the streets of Glasgow before my train home because Tom Holland, Spider-Man himself, is on the streets again. He had a break. I think he was doing some stuff in America, but he's back in Glasgow as of today for a few days. So I think the news has got around that there's probably going to be too many people, but I'm going to try and hunt him down and see if I can get down by the scenes and get a little photo. I'll let you guys know if I manage to do that. But yeah, I hope that wasn't too painful. Bit rusty because it's just me on my own. It's a bit weird talking without someone to bounce back off of. But next time, hopefully we'll have Drew and James or one of them, and we'll have a little chat about what we've watched in the TV and the cinema. If there's anything that's worth recommending or avoiding, anything interesting coming out in the cinemas next week, or the trailers that have been announced, or any movie news in general. So these little short episodes, there we go. It's not even been 15 minutes yet. So I'll let you go. I'm about to record a full length episode now. So we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Hope it wasn't too painful.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you had a whale of a time.
Oh, wait! Just before you head off to listen to another one of our episodes, I'm not going to ask you to give us a follow and a 5-star review or follow our social media such as Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, although that is your choice. But we would like to tell you about a new website we have called ragewhale.tmill.com, where you can get some merchandise to support us. Hoodies, t-shirts and mugs. There is a link here and on our social media profiles. Thank you so much for listening again. See you next time.